it has already been a very busy day, but now I'm going to get to do something that I really enjoy. And I'm doing it because of you. Several years ago, many of you who are our longtime followers told me about Christmas in July. I guess I'd kind of heard about it, but I'd never actually participated in it. But you mostly wanted me to do it because of the orange cinnamon bread that I make at Christmas. I make it every Christmas, but I only make it at Christmas. That's it. The only time. Usually, actually, I make it a few days after Christmas. I always think of it as our last hooray of Christmas. I've been sick. A lot of you know that, so my voice is kind of still wavery. Please excuse that. Anyway, a lot of you thought because Matt loved it so much, he does say it's his very favorite dessert, that I should make it in the summer. I should at least make it twice, if not more than that, I should at least make it twice. So I started doing Christmas in July, and our whole family has just enjoyed it so much. I think we will do it forever. Even if I ever quit doing YouTube, you'll know we're still doing Christmas in July. We just so enjoy it, and everybody gets into it. And it has been really unique experience besides the fun and the good eating, Matt getting his orange bread. It's been a really unique experience spiritually as a believer to think about those things that we often think about at Christmas, Christ's birth and what it means and all those kind of things. But also to kind of mirror that with thankfulness. This time of the year is just full of bounty. That's part of what I've been busy doing today. Actually, Matt and Katie canned green beans this morning. We've been canning tomatoes as they come in. Pulled up all of our cabbage. You've not seen that video yet probably, but you will, so we'll share that. We pulled all of it up. It was a good harvest. So we've been making kraut. We've been making, this is my second run of canned coleslaw. So we've been really, really busy. Made pickles, so all kinds of things have been going on. And there's more waiting outside. Those beans that Matt and Katie picked yesterday and canned this morning, Matt told me a minute ago, said there's 2 rows out there that need to be picked right now. So the bounty this time of the year just keeps coming, which is wonderful because it sustains our family throughout the year for the rest of the winter. But also, it's wonderful to think about the goodness of it, especially, as I said, as a believer, thinking about Christ's birth here in July, thinking about that religious holiday of Christmas in July, but also the bounty that he has blessed us with. We are very, very blessed to live what we do, to get to live the life that we live, and you're part of that. You bless us every day by letting us do what we love, but you also bless us with things like Christmas in July. I would have never known about it. Also, or I would have never, maybe I knew about it, but I would have never done it without your encouragement, so thank you. You can see here some of my Christmas goodies I've got. Granny gets into Christmas in July now, so every year she makes me something to celebrate Christmas in July. Look at these beautiful little ornaments, little snowman ornaments, so she's done that for me. And while she was doing it for me, she just went ahead and made some for each household in our family, so that's going to be their Christmas present this year. Granny's always thinking ahead. Several of you have sent me Christmas cards in July. Thank you so much. That's so lovely. Rhonda sent me this little cute Christmas tree because she knows I love Christmas trees. Very, very nice. If you notice behind me, I've been working on the Christmas cards y'all blessed us with at Christmas. Last Christmas, I've made some garlands with them. I'm going to use some of them for tags this year for Christmas presents. So thank you so much. And it was so fun going back through those and looking at them. Now, if you watch all our videos, you know we put them all over the kitchen so everyone can enjoy them. We have Christmas for my family here at our house, and that's one of the favorite things people have come to enjoy. They walk around and look at all the cards and the beautiful graphics, the beautiful families. Some of you send us pictures of your families. And the beautiful sentiments, of course, too. So, lovely. Now, Lindsay, let me make sure that I get her name right before I say something wrong and then I'm editing. No, I had it right. Lindsay, I could have just left it. Lindsay sent me a whole bunch of beautiful, beautiful things. Thank you so much. But among them were 2 rolling pins. Look at that. As soon as I saw the stars, I thought, Christmas in July. I'm going to save that. Now, I've never used one like this. I've been doing some research this morning to see how hard they are to use. So I don't know how it'll turn out, but we're gonna try to make something with it. And what I want to make, this is my first day of my Christmas, celebrating Christmas in July. It will culminate tomorrow evening when we eat supper together. And that's really how Christmas, think about Christmas Eve. We enjoy Christmas Eve together as a family, but we don't really get together with my whole big family until Christmas Day. So it's kind of culminates, a couple of days. You know how Christmas is, especially if you do a lot of cooking like we do. So today, though, I am going to make Matt's orange bread. You can see I even bought some oranges for him. So I'm going to save that for tomorrow. And that'll go with our big meal tomorrow. But today I wanted to make something sweet, but something I didn't get to make this past Christmas, and I'm not even sure if I made it the Christmas before either, but it's my Granny Gazzy's gingerbread. I thought that would be perfect to try this on, so we'll see how that goes, and if this don't work, then we'll just enjoy gingerbread either way. So the recipe is in mine and Jim's cookbook, Celebrating Southern Appalachian Food. If you don't know about that, you can check out the link in the description, and it's on page 41. I'm going to go ahead and read you the ingredients, and then I'm going to go gather them all up. But it's Granny Gazzy's gingerbread cookies. You need 2½ tablespoons of lard or shortening, 1 cup of sorghum syrup. So I have sorghum syrup that was made locally, but if you don't have that and you can't find sorghum, you could use just what says molasses in the grocery store. That would be fine. 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/4 cup milk. 3 cups of self-rising flour. Now that I read that, I've done some research this morning. I forgot about using self-rising flour. Said it worked way better with all-purpose. So we'll just have to go with it though and see what happens. We'll just have to see what happens. So I have this recipe. I'll show you how to put it all together, which is really, really simple. But I have that recipe on the Blind Pig and the Acorn, so I will put that link in the description below. And now I'm going to gather up all my stuff and we'll make some cookies. To put the gingerbread together, we're going to beat lard and syrup until well blended. We're going to add the egg and beat that in. Mix the spices with the flour, and then we're going to alternately add the flour and the milk until the dough is formed. And it's a soft dough. And then we'll use additional flour to roll out the cookies and cut them. Now I went back on the Blind Pig and the Acorn. Thank goodness that I write stuff down on there. I can always go back and check myself. And on there, the first time I ever shared the cookie recipe, I put in parentheses, I changed it to self-rising flour to make it easier. So it works good like that. Granny Gazzy would have used all-purpose. The things I read this morning about the textured rolling pins was that it worked better with the all-purpose flour, but I don't think it would make a difference if then I'm going to use all-purpose and then add leavening. We would need to add leavening to get these to rise. So I'm just going to go with the self-rising and we'll just see what happens. The thing that I read said that if you used all-purpose flour only, so that would be more like a cracker or a really crisp kind of cookie that didn't rise much, that it helped it, retain its texture better, because if the cookie was going to rise, it may rise to the point that all your little indentions are gone. But we're just going to see what happens, because we want the cookies to be like I usually make them at Christmas. So we'll just go with the self-rising and see what happens. One of the tips that I read about using these was also to chill your dough, but I've decided, since I'm not sure it's even going to work, I'm not going to do that, since now I'm using the self-rising flour. But I'm just going to start. And I have one glove on because when I was making my kraut and all that, then one of the days I was working, I cut my finger. It's not bad. It was just a small place, but if you cut one of your fingers, then it's on your finger and you're using it all the time, so it keeps breaking back open. So I have a Band-Aid on it, but just figured this would be easier. So I had thought what I would do, and this is a real soft dough. Now if you did chill it, it probably would you know, do better, but I've never done that. I just add a little bit more flour to it and go for it. I think what I'll do though, what I was planning on doing with this is, I'm still going to try it, is to kind of pat it out. I ain't got too much flour. I want it all to be floury looking. Even though I remember Granny Gazzy's was like that. They have like a little dusting of, not really flour, but I guess it was flour, you know. So I had thought what I would do is just roll them out. I'm even afraid to roll this across it. Wonder if I should put flour all over it. See what happens. I guess I'm just gonna go for it. Oh, it's pretty. So pretty. I love stars, is my favorite if it stays. And then I was just going to use my biscuit cutter to just cut circles. I'm afraid it's so soft that it won't stay, but we'll see. It's funny, my sorghum had a little bit of sugar in it. Sometimes that happens with sorghum or honey. Even me doing that's making the stars wiggle. I think I'm going to do it again and do it thinner. Anyway, it had a little bit of sugar where it's set up in the bottom of the jar, and I just put that in there so I could hear it when I was using that cookie cutter. I could hear it crunching a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit more flour. And you could certainly just add more when you're your experienced cookie maker while you're mixing up the dough in the mixer. Just use more flour until you get to the consistency that you don't have to do this part. I love the recipe though. Now, Granny had adapted it over the years and changed some of the stuff, but she still had it wrote down like what Granny Gazzy would have used, and it is one of those recipes where instead of like the amount of shortening or lard, it just said a lump of it. And I think the milk said, instead of 1/4 of a cup, it said so much of a glass, you know, like a snuff glass or something. I love those old measurements like that. Okay. When I was growing up, Granny made this too, and nobody really liked it much except me and my brother Steve. He liked it like I do, and I think the girls and Matt like it okay, but probably not as much as I do. Okay, let's see, I said I was going to go thinner. There's my oven. Go a little bit thinner. I guess I'm just going to leave the flour on there. I wonder if it's going to stick on me. Okay, I'm going to go with this again. Oh, it's so pretty. I hope it stays. Let me let you see it. See how good the stars showed up? Isn't that pretty? And so then my thought was just to do like that. And then just have stars. So I don't know, maybe that'll work. We'll just see what happens on the first go around. I'm afraid the stars may cook out, but maybe not, maybe they won't. I don't know why stars is my favorite shape. I've always loved them. Probably my first memory of stars, this is funny, other than the stars in the sky, you know, but you don't really see them as stars, is what we think of stars, you know. That Steve had my older brother had a red notebook. I forgot, I'm not really rolling it out. I'm just trying to get the texture. Let me get it a little bit thinner on this one. And for school, is one of those 3-ring binders, you know, that you had to pull the tabs and the big circles open. But it was cloth. It was covered in like a fabric almost, and it had stars all over it. It was red. I have to ask him if he remembers it. I was in love with that notebook, probably because he got to go to school and I didn't. Maybe something like that. I thought it was really, you know, he had all the fancy stuff. But that's probably when I first fell in love with stars. And of course they go perfectly with Christmas though, don't they? Even Christmas in July. Okay, I'm tempted just to go ahead and put those in just so we can see if the stars, I can't stand it, and then I'll continue. Let me put these in. Another trick I usually do, we'll see if the stars don't work, I'll probably do it. If I had my cookie cutters, I'll have to dig some out. but I have a set that one of my friends got me many years ago, thinking about the blind pig and the acorn, and I'd been gone somewhere. I don't even remember where I was going, and I come home and there was something hanging on my door. I thought, what is that? And it was the cookie cutters, and it was a pig and an acorn, and let's see what else. There's something else, but the pig and the acorn too was in there, maybe a star. Anyway, so I use those often when I do the gingerbread, and I love to use, once you get them cut out, then you can use a toothpick and just like in the top of the acorn, just make, you know, holes, and they don't cook up and they stay in there, and they're really pretty. It just gives it a little bit of detail. You could give the pig like an eye, and maybe put something in its ears just by using a toothpick, instead of like worrying about, like I love sugar cookies at Christmas. Y'all know I make Granny sugar cookies every year and decorate them, but just something really simple. Gingerbread is a rustic, I guess if you will, a rustic kind of cookie. I think I'm going to get my regular rolling pin out and then use that one. I might make it go faster. And I could get the thickness. Oh yeah, that's going to be better. Just right. Better get me somewhere to put them on though, so I can put them on. Okay, I'm going to use this one. Oh, so pretty. My island here is not very stable, and every time I bump it, you can probably hear it. My bowl's jangling. I want to look and see if the stars are cooking up, but I'm afraid of being disappointed. Of course, they're going to be delicious anyway. And even if it don't work on this, I will find some kind of cookie it works on. And I bet y'all know, so you could tell me what I should do. Some of you's probably used them before. I should have done more research, but as usual, I just thought, today I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use that. And then I started researching and thought, oh, well, it's not that easy, huh? Even if the stars don't stay, this is a nice sized cookie. I use that for my biscuit cutter. It's just so pretty. Oh, I got a little bit stuck in a star right there. But it's actually a chopper, like you could chop the kraut I've been making, or the canned coleslaw. You could chop that. That's what it's actually made for. But it could be a cutter too, or a biscuit cutter outer, cookie cutter outer. My circles are kind of ovals after I push on. This dough's so soft. Do it more than once, you get double stars. Maybe I should check mine. They look like they're staying somewhat. Now another thing I read this morning was that you could, if you refrigerated the dough, and then when you rolled it out, you refrigerated the cookies, like before you cooked them, chilled them first. So maybe I should put this pan in the freezer and see what that does. Here's some more of my sugar there. See if they could just all look like that one. That's really pretty. Okay, I'm going to pop these in the, maybe I could make room for, no, I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to put them in the freezer just for a minute. So see, the stars stayed. You can see that hole right there is where I was trying to see if they were done. But they stayed. Now, they didn't stay on that one, but that could be my fault because of how I rolled it out. But yeah, now we'll see if the ones I put in the freezer stay even better than that. But that one's lovely, isn't it? Oh, yay, success. I think I'm going to let those stay in the freezer until I get this pan full, I guess, and then trade out and see. But I'm so excited. The first one's somewhat worked. Let's see, might as well just try to do the rest of it. Oh, that just never gets old, seeing those stars just appear. That's just amazing. I made these, the other ones in these are thinner than those first ones. This is a gingerbread that's more like a cake kind of texture instead of a crisp cookie. Let's scoop these up closer. I didn't grease my pans. I usually don't ever, but you sure could if you wanted to, if you have trouble with sticking. Oh, I didn't do my roly thing. Hey, I wonder what it would be like if you did it, cut them out first and then rolled them. Let's try two like that. Oh, that may be even nicer. Oops, that one's stuck though. Definitely changes the shape, but be interesting to see how those do. That one turned out pretty. So maybe that's how you do it. Y'all have to tell me. They do look like they're sharper and crisper that way. Okay, I'm going to swap out. I'm going to put these in the freezer, put those in the oven, and clean up my mess, and then we'll see how they turn out. Hopefully those from the freezer will be even better. So this is the second batch that I had put in the freezer. So you can see that one turned out real good. Look how pretty that one is with the white stars, but then some of them did bake up. But you can kind of faintly see them, even on the ones. Now that one's really good, that one right there. This one's kind of all faded away pretty much. So, and especially that one back there, totally faded away. I'm getting Matt to come taste a cookie with me, just like at Christmas. Ready for one?
Yeah.
They're not your favorite. They're gingerbread. I know you don't like them as much as I do.
I can probably choke one down.
Probably.
Thank you, dear.
How you like the stars on them?
That's cool. How'd you do that?
See that right
Did you
there?
individually carve each one with a paring knife?
Yeah, that's what I did. Exactly. That's what I did. They're not overly sweet. I was trying to look for one with had the stars on them, but
Good.
they're more really like a bread than a cookie. Gingerbread, that's what they are. So I don't remember if it's a few years ago we made them, and one of y'all told us to put, maybe it was lemon icing on top of them or something, some kind of icing, and that was good. You could put powdered sugar over them. But because it's just got the sorghum syrup, they're just not really that sweet. They are sweet, but it's not like like the sugar cookies I make at Christmas. It's not like overload of sugar like that.
You're good.
Yeah, I'll try some. These have stars, huh?
Ain't that neat?
Yeah, I'm sorry I decided to put an hour down for a nap right in the middle of the video.
It's alright. He fights sleep like nobody's business.
World champion.
And he's tired, he's doing this. So he needs to go to bed. Good.
Let's fill his milk.
Who's gonna let me have a drink of hers?
So this has been my first day of celebrating Christmas in July. Y'all can see, you've done seen all this stuff, but there it is. Y'all didn't see how this turned out though. My little
Aw.
swag turned out.
That's so pretty.
Very nice.
So tomorrow is the day that Matt's really looking forward to, which is his orange bread.
I think I'm going to start my fast tonight.
No, you can't do that. Let me get the
So you
other
can eat
cookies out.
orange bread and only orange bread?
What we need to talk about though is what we're going to eat with it.
Thank you for letting me celebrate Christmas in July.
And take one.
This is like Christmas
for
Eve in
Corey.
July.
Yeah,
What?
this is like Christmas Eve in July. So take a cookie to Corey.
Where'd you cook the recipe for these?
It's Gazzy's.
It's good.
You remember them, you just forgot.
I'm making a mess. I'm sorry.
So for our meal tomorrow though, we thought about oyster stew, we thought about a deer roast. Those are things that we have at, you are going to drink his milk.
It's about my third sip.
Those things that we have at Christmas, but I think we've decided that we're going to kind of thinking about Christmas, but also the bounty that's everywhere that Matt was just helping Corey with. How many jars did she end up with?
7, wasn't it? 8?
Yeah.
I mean, she just had just a handful of cabbage heads, and some of those were small.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they made, for what amount of cabbage she had, it made pretty good.
Good.
Good, didn't it?
So anyway, we're going to have, Matt wanted, he's got a rack of ribs he's been itching to cook. We're gonna have them. I hope we're gonna pick some fresh green beans, a mess of green beans, and have that. What else are we gonna have?
Corn.
Oh, and corn. And then also Matt wanted to say we could bake some of our biggest potatoes that we dug. So we could have those.
That'd be good.
And then
Be a good meal.
I guess we'll have to have cornbread. Unless Corey wants to make us some of her bread.
Oh, that's good when I go down there.
Yeah, she could do that. That would be
Just
delicious.
another cookie, thank you.
Yeah, send it to her. Here,
Happy
well, I
Christmas
guess
Eve.
send a couple in case Austin wants one when he gets in from work.
Merry Christmas Eve. Go.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
So we'll see you again tomorrow when we start celebrating the real Christmas day in July, I guess is what Matt's now dubbed it.
Yeah.